Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fairview. In today's episode, I actually got quite a bit done on the city, and I worked on a variety of things, including this park, which I work on first, as you can see. I also do some work on some suburbs, not much though, just a few blocks of houses, and expand the downtown out to kind of meet up with this park area here. So, with this park, I wanted to create a war memorial within it. I kind of wanted this because at some point in Fairview's history, people would have got sent off to war, probably during the World Wars, since this is set in America. For the war memorial, though, I couldn't really find anything that I liked on the STEM workshop. So, to create what I wanted, I've converted a bollard prop into procedural objects and then scaled it up to make it a lot larger than what it was originally. And I've put a path around it so that people can walk around and stuff. And just tried covering in that little bit of grass with some poppable asphalt. In this park, I'm also adding a lot of trees, including the maple trees, which I've used a lot of so far in this series. I've also added a tennis court in one corner. So this was actually my second attempt at recording this episode, because the first time around the game crashed after I opened the landscaping tab, funnily enough. I didn't have autosave on and hadn't been saving it, so I had to go back and do the whole thing again. You can probably tell by the lack of cuts that I could have done this, because the second time around when I did this, I kind of already knew exactly what I was doing and went pretty much straight through what I'd done. And I actually got a lot more done in the second time round, which you're seeing here, than I did in the first time, since I know what I was doing and things, which is probably a blessing in disguise, because otherwise we'd be getting nowhere. Back to the park, I've added some oak trees as well as the sugar maple trees. The oak trees are by Mr. Mason, I think. And since oaks can be evergreen, they're not losing their leaves like the maple trees are, since this is set in autumn or fall depending on where you're from. And I've also added some of the ground covers from the Park Life DLC underneath some of these trees, just to kind of add another layer of foliage to the park. Now I'm moving on to place down some shops and things along the other side of the main road, as you can see here. This main road, the traffic on it's kind of halved since I connected the other road on the other side of the park. So while I finish off working along this road, I'll leave you with some music, and when we get over to the other part of the downtown that I work on today, I'll talk about it more. So with this block I've been working on for the past couple of minutes while the music's been playing, I decided to split it into two with an unlaned road. In the past few episodes, I've actually been kind of struggling to fill in the empty spaces between the lots, which is why I've decided to split this one up into two. My only real option to fill up the space otherwise is parking lots or parks, and neither of them really kind of fit everywhere, so with the last block, because obviously I've moved on now to the next one, as you can see, I decided to put a road in between. With this block, I've put down some apartment buildings on one side by the park, and have been putting down some shops here along the main road. Now I'm placing down, or when I find it, I will place down, here we go, a hotel. And behind this, I'll put some parking, both for cars from the hotel and for the people living in the apartment buildings next to it. And in between the apartment buildings, I'll put down a few trees and things, just to and a path to kind of connect up those little back door areas. And so back to what we've been working on before along the main road, I placed down a BP gas station. I kind of wanted to have a lot of gas stations in the city, as it's kind of like almost like a service that's needed, but something that the game doesn't really capture. A couple of weeks ago, I actually saw a video by Sam Burr. Most of you probably know him, I guess. If you're watching Skylines, then he's a really popular YouTuber. If you don't, but anyways, he did a video on this like gas station mod thing that allows you to make them kind of function in a way. This mod was kind of a bit strange in that it required like a whole lot of things that you had to set up to get it to work right, but anyway, I thought it was interesting, but don't really want to use it in this city. And also in the right of the screen, it's gone now, but you would have seen the motel there that I placed down. I used the same motel in episode 6, and it's kind of the only single-story motel that I have in the game at the moment, which is why I've used it again. And I just wanted to create another one along the main road somewhere so that people can stay when they're visiting town, I guess. So here I've kind of done the fences for these houses. And very soon, I'm copying the fences now, but very soon I'll start placing down houses in between them. These lots are a bit smaller than the ones I worked on previously, and I, again, kind of just wanted to make things a little bit smaller, as I might have got the scale wrong at the very start when I first kind of laid out all the roads. And kind of here I've had an opportunity to make things a bit smaller, so I have. And now I'll place down some houses along here. And I think that's all for now, so I'll leave you with some more music and be back in a couple more minutes to talk to you about what I've been doing in that time, I guess. So with the houses here, I've used a variety of different houses from within the vanilla game and from the University City Content Creator Pack, which is like $5 on Steam or something like that. And I've also used some of the houses from the American Eclectic theme, which I've used in other parts of the city. And I've hand placed the houses as you would have seen, and then copied some of the blocks to save time and make things a bit less repetitive. I've also kind of mixed things up and still hand placed some, even in the blocks that were mainly copied, as I didn't want to be making things exactly the same. So a little bit of variety helps with that. You would have seen me just kind of plopping down the trees, all sort of randomly, but sort of in some sort of order. I wanted to create a kind of natural look about it, so kind of went through and plopped down a few trees here and a few different coloured of maple trees there, and kind of went back over and put some bare ones in, as you would have seen. That was kind of a bit of a long ramble, but you get the point if you haven't dropped off already. So next episode I'll be back to working on some more suburbs, and I don't know, this can kind of take a lot of time and it gets repetitive though, but hopefully I can find some way to make it interesting, as I haven't already recorded it, so it's still in planning. So yeah, we've added the suburbs, and I'm just looking at my notes because I've lost track. So yeah, we're up to this downtown bit now, and I've just placed in a few like 2 and 3 story things, as well as these single story shops here, and yeah, using the surface painter just to kind of make some little back alleys in between them. And here are some buildings from the University City Content Creator Pack, or at least some of them are. I actually quite like these buildings because they look a bit more run down. Back to my notes. I've completely lost my place. Feeling that there's too much. So yeah, we've expanded the downtown quite a bit, and I almost feel that this is enough now, and I should just be getting to working on suburbs and other projects. I want to create some other little projects, like a train station or something, just to kind of change things up and yeah, make it a bit more interesting than suburbs for a few episodes in a row, because you know, even though you've got a week in between it, and you're probably watching plenty of other things if you're not watching this in like a playlist in some time in the future, but still, I want to keep things interesting, so I'll try and find ways, even with the suburb episodes, to add something special in there for you. So today I'm actually going to do a live play, which will be the second one that I've ever done on my channel. I did one in episode 2, but I don't think it turned out that great in my opinion, so hopefully I can improve on things today. I did also record one for episode 4, but again that wasn't that great, and I didn't really have that much to talk about. But yeah, hopefully today's one will go better, and I will now leave you with a little bit more music to fill in the time until I finish up here. So, see you then. Okay, so since the time-lapse, I have installed the Roads United mod, so I've got the yellow center lines now down the roads instead of white ones like in the vanilla game. And it's also kind of changed the curbs a little bit too, which is... I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. But let's start off by heading over to the park that we worked on at the start of the episode. Here you can see that bollard prop that I converted and have placed here. It kind of, I don't know, I guess it's supposed to be circular, but it's octagonal, or I don't know, it could be octagonal too. But yeah, it's kind of, because I've scaled it up, the detail on it's changed a bit, I guess. And yeah, we've got plenty of trees and things. It looks quite nice here, as I think I have a shot like from this angle in the cinematics. So our suburbs, or the start of them anyway, there's bear trees mixed in amongst things too. Looks quite nice, even though I haven't got my graphics up as high as they could be, because otherwise it'd kill the frame rate. Motel, BP, just, yeah, few different things. I mean, yeah, that's on the main road. Oh, it's 2-story, not single story. I think I said it was single story in the time lapse, but it's 2-story. And yeah, moving back over, I got quite a bit done here, as you'll see in the like before and after shot in the cinematics. And the city hall that we worked on a few episodes ago. And other things as well. When you look at it, the downtown looks kind of quite overpowering, because it takes up like half, or maybe even more than half. No, I don't think more than half, but it's definitely about half of the city. The shopping mall that we worked on last episode. I don't know, this bit, I think I like placed it down and it looked like it was fine, like this one, but it like moved down like one like movement, or like whatever the movement step is anyway, it moved down like one, and that shows through, but it's not a big deal. I mean, I'll probably will never really look back here in particular until I do like a cinematics at the end or something. And the bridge, parking lots, various other things. This little park with some people walking through it. More shops. Our suburbs and all the procedural objects here make this kind of disappear after at a certain zoom level. Like here, there's nothing there, and you zoom in, and there's all the decals and things. And I don't actually think I use procedural objects. It's just because they're decals that they kind of disappear. And our kind of flasher houses along the cliff here. Nice view of this abandoned ship. And the swimming pool that I worked on a few in episode 3, I think, using procedural objects. And yeah, with these kind of ploppable asphalt, it's slightly different kind of color tone than the new Roads United roads that I kind of had to adjust them because they're a lot wider before or something. No, they're a lot darker is what they were. But I adjusted them a bit to kind of fit better with the ploppable asphalt. These ones are still quite dark though, but they look nice because, I mean, they are slightly more important than the other roads, so it makes sense. And don't know where the shopping cart thingies are here, but I placed some down a long time ago and they've disappeared, or maybe something's happened. I'm not really too sure, but it doesn't really matter. It's just one of those minor things that I can fix up off camera. And I ended up naming this park Livingstone Park after some American businessman. I like searched up like American businessman on Wikipedia and just picked a random name for this one. So that's about it. We have Suburb 1 and Suburb 2 at the moment. They both need naming. This one, maybe after the cliffs that it sits along or something. And this park maybe needs a name. I'm not really sure. I might go ahead and name it at some point. But that's about it for this episode. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, then don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next time, and enjoy the cinematics. Thank you for watching.